is your weekly astrological forecast for the week of February 24th, 2025. So on Monday, we have the moon in very serious minded Capricorn. So come Monday, it's all about our work and working hard and our ambitions and our goals. That is going to be first and foremost on our mind come Monday. We are going to be doing some overtime at the office. Yes, indeed. However, the moon at 16 degrees of Capricorn, very early on Monday, does make a very wide T-square between Venus, the planet of love and affection, and Mars, barely stationed direct the day before in Cancer, but in post shadow retrograde still, and the moon in Capricorn. So late on Sunday and into Monday, we're feeling a little bit stagnant, and we have to watch our feelings of tenderness about love and affection Sunday going into early Monday. Because of this very wide T-square, we may feel a little bit touchy, especially with now post-shadow retrograde Mars in Cancer. Not exactly at its best with this cardinal T-square with the moon in Capricorn and brash Venus in Aries. So just be very conscientious of feelings with those around us now and try not to be overly ambitious that you may develop too much of a competitive spirit that may irritate those around you as well. So keep that in mind very early on Monday. But hey, on Monday, it's a really good day to get work done and really focus on what it is you want to organize, what your ambitions are, what your goals are, what you want to do for the future. That is a positive come Monday, the 24th. Now, we do have a stellium, 3 planets or more in beautiful, sweet, gentle Pisces. And as always, Pisces is kind of a double-edged sword. So on one hand, with this stellium, we want to view those through rose-colored glasses. Or there may be a situation where we know internally, intuitively, it may not be the greatest situation, but we want to see the best, the most positive of a situation. That's a positive, wonderful, beautiful trait of Pisces. But on the other hand, Pisces has a tendency to confuse between the good and the bad, kind of that gray area there. And so this week, that's the theme, that we may see the positive of a situation. That's great. But at the same time, we have to be cautious that we're not seeing things accurately, whether that's people, whether that's relationships, situations, what have you. You want to feel a little bit more grounded. But the positive here as well is what? Pisces is very dreamy, very creative, kind of lost in fantasy sometimes. And here we have that connection with Pisces extraordinaire. And keep in mind, on the 27th, we have a new moon in Pisces as well. So this is a great week, yes, for seeing the positive, and it's wonderful for acting rather sensitively this week to those, uh, adapting a gentle, very calming presence, and this may be good. This is a good week to explore that with what deals with the metaphysical, the psychical, that which is healing, which makes us feel good. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you've had a bit of a rough day on Monday with that Capricorn moon, well, with this Pisces stellium, it's a great time to get lost in that which makes us feel healed. And by the way, over the next month, that's going to be the theme because the new moon starts on Thursday. So themes of medical, anything conventional, unconventional sources of healing are going to come to the forefront now. There may be a lot in the news about healing or that which gives us thoughts of that we need to come together and heal each other. So it's not just a physical healing, it's emotional, it's mental, it's inspirational, and that is going to be good now. We are going to draw a lot of creative thoughts and inspirations for the future, especially with that Capricorn moon Monday and Tuesday. But what else is Pisces? Pisces is the 12th house. It's about the past. So don't be surprised now if persons or possibly, well, yeah, problems or issues or something from the past creeps up right now. That can be good or maybe not so good. Remember, Pisces draws the line between reality and truth and non-reality, and this may be the issue now. And we may not quite know why a person or situation is kind of creeping back from the past. That itself will be mystical and what Pisces unexplained or unknown. So Pisces is just giving us the heads up to just go with the flow. Don't question too much because that may kind of rattle our nerves. However, we do have a square off between Mercury, the communicator, at 17 degrees and Saturn at 20 degrees. But mostly Mercury, the communicator, with Jupiter at about 12 degrees. It's 11:56. So although we're feeling rather lost in fantasy and dreaminess and feeling good, that's wonderful. But with Jupiter there, which rules adventure, and it kind of gives us this feeling of luck. We don't want to overspend this week, especially as we get into Monday or Tuesday with this really wide square with Jupiter. We're feeling rather adventurous, and hey, there's this aspect of luck which is on our side come Monday. Maybe it's really good for a winning, or maybe you'll get really good news come Monday or Tuesday. Just be careful you don't get so, well, carried away with the luck and adventure that you may not see a little bit of the negativity involved here. Maybe a little bit of too much spending. Yes, indeed. But because of also this T-square with barely direct now, Mars in touchy Cancer, but still in post-shadow retrograde, squaring the moon on Monday in Capricorn, Sirius, conservative Capricorn, and the rash, Venus, the planet of love and affection in Aries, we're also feeling a little touchy on late Sunday and into Monday, as with Mars not at its best in Cancer and the moon in Capricorn and Venus in Aries. So we may really have this feeling late Sunday and Monday that we're putting out in the emotional sphere a little bit than we're getting back, and that may cause that much more oversensitivity to our environment and a little bit of some snappishness, so to speak, with those around us. So be a little bit more conscientious. Take a hint from Pisces. Uh, Create more of a gentle understanding. Pisces again, compassionate atmosphere if you feel a little bit underappreciated on Monday morning. And what else does Pisces rule? Yes, indeed. It rules the past. It rules medical, anything and everything. It rules healing. But what else? Pisces is connected with water. So there may be an overabundance now. That is a topic of our discussion about water. Too much snow, not enough snow. Too much rain, not enough rain. This type of thing. And also, Pisces is connected with our oceans. So there may be some issues with our ocean and our waterways. Maybe there's going to be some issues with tsunamis or issues with our waterways, oil, minerals, and the like this week. And especially after and around and after over the next month, once we get into the new moon starting Thursday the 27th. So that really amps up the Pisces connections over the next month. Yes, indeed. So really be careful of anything connected with water. And also that includes liquids, because it's not just about water. We may have an issue right now with liquids that come up of all kinds, drinking water, anything that we drink that could become some kind of an odd issue as well. Anything with liquid, water, ocean, you name it. And it's just giving us this sense of positive, uh, positive, dreamy atmosphere, which isn't so bad, especially if it's all about healing and feeling good and really developing a compassionate atmosphere. And for whatever reason, this week and over the next 30 days, we may feel we have good reason to be compassionate and express our sense of kindness. Let's look ahead to the next day, which is, yes, indeed, Tuesday the 25th. Whoops, for the script there. And now we've got the moon very early on in the morning void, but it is making an out of sign connection with powerful Pluto early in Aquarius. So we are feeling that we are wanting to express our creativity, our daring nature. And also, what is Pluto? Pluto's about power. So early on with the moon in Aquarius, late Capricorn, with that connection with Pluto, Pluto is about, yes, it's our power, but it's also connected with the powers that be. And that can be with what? Government. So you have topics of conversation now, Capricorn, old government, and Pluto powers and new powers that be, whether that's government or it may be anything that deals with personal power. So don't be surprised, there could be possible good or bad, but news, insightful news, Tuesday morning with the powers that be, or for that matter, all day Tuesday, there may be some news that comes about from the powers that be. Kind of like switching from the old guard to the new guard, or the way of doing things come Tuesday. So heads up for some news then. But because later on in the day the moon goes into Aquarius, we have this sense now of creativity and really wanting to express who we are. But with that connection with power and Pluto, we don't want to get carried away. We don't want to step on anybody's toes come Tuesday, because that is a matter that could come about. But luckily, with this connection, this conjunction with Pluto, well, that's good for rebelliousness in a positive direction if we want to express who we are. It doesn't hurt to show off a little bit on Tuesday. And it's also good for social media as well, because Aquarius rules the airways. And what else is Aquarius? It's about inventiveness. So there could be coming up now, especially dealing with science, the airwaves, anything with communication with Pluto. So there may be during this time, and even, yes, on Tuesday, some discussion about new ways of creativity and inventions, and just going about things a little bit differently that is expressed on Tuesday. Yes, indeed. Feel the power Tuesday. And let's move on here till the next day, which is, yes, indeed, it is Wednesday, the 26th, and getting closer to that new moon in Pisces. And now the moon is past Pluto, but within the next day, the moon will then apply the square off to its own the depositor of the moon and the powerhouse Pluto. So everything looked so great and original and humane, our humanity, inventive, creative on Tuesday. And although that still holds sway on Wednesday, we can't omit that we've got the square. So there may be a little bit in the way of upheaval come Wednesday and Thursday. Well, we're taking a little bit of that rebellion and expressing it very, well, conflictingly. So we're going to have to be careful of rash, impulsive, unexpected actions, because, yes, of all things, Aquarius does rule science. Yes, it does rule the airways. Yes, it does rule communications and the future. But keep in mind, yes, Aquarius rules our humanity, which is wonderful. So on one hand, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there's some good news with communications about our humanity, but not everybody may be in agreement, or there may be somewhat, there's that word again, rebellion about our humanity, or the powers Pluto in Aquarius that be. So look out for Tuesday, Wednesday, and early Thursday for a little bit of telling it like it is, expect the unexpected, good for originality, good for inventiveness. Yes, it's good for science and all that futuristic stuff, space, which may not be another topic of conversation here on Wednesday, or humanity. But we don't want to get so carried away with in rebellion that we create fights or conflict come Wednesday and Thursday. Now, what else? Uranus rules what? Uranus is connected with our Earth. So you can expect possibly Wednesday, Thursday, as the moon applies a square to Uranus on Thursday, some earthquakes or some powerful earth changes. Generally earthquakes, because Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus rules our Earth, so be on the lookout for some powerful earthquakes, and you can, yes, expect power, because we've got Pluto, the power planet, also in Aquarius, and Uranus is both the depositor of the moon and Pluto. So there can be some disruptive earth changes, whether that's earthquakes or the weather, what have you. That's also going to be a theme between Tuesday and Thursday as well. But keep in mind, we do have this trine between Saturn and Mercury, the communicator with Mars. So we really want to approach any unexpected issues, whether it's weather related, earth related situations, people, what have you, with compassion. And that's Pisces at its best. And let's look forward to the next day, which indeed is the new moon. Now it shows here we have the moon in the latter degrees very, very early on Thursday. So the weather changes or earth issues are also going to be a possible topic for discussion, as well as this sense of rebellion for sure. But we've got a new moon, which is not shown here. It occurs at about 7:45, so about 7:45 Eastern Standard Time, and you can adjust that to your time on Thursday. So as mentioned, all the themes of Pisces over the next month will be the highlight. Certainly over the next few weeks, until we come across the full moon in Virgo. So the theme, as to reiterate, is going to be about what? Health, wellness, and healing. The past coming back to, well, possibly to haunt us, or it could just be that we reacquaint ourselves with persons from the past, or issues or situations that come up from the past. But yes, Pisces is all about healing. Medically, physically, esoterically, metaphysical, paranormal. Yes, that will become, for whatever reason, a topic of conversation over the next few weeks or so. So get ready, folks, with this new moon in Pisces. Put compassion, kindness, sensitivity first, and all the issues that I aforementioned, issues connected with water, and our sensitivity, and also seeing persons and situations for what they are, not what we want them to be. But yes, Pisces can be a good time on the other end of the scale for love and romance. Yes, indeed. Okay, so now we're going to head into the following day, which is the 28th. And it is now Friday, the 28th of February, and the moon is still in Pisces, but with this accentuation on Pisces. What else is Pisces? Folks, as I've always said, nebulous Neptune. So during this next month, especially over the next week, there's going to be information that we got to figure out. What are we being told is truth? It's the fine line between what? What is the 12th house? What is Pisces? That fine line between truth, reality, and non-reality, between the known and the unknown. So between now and the next month, and this week, next week, oh boy, something possibly from the past is going to resurface that we have to figure out. What mysteries are not being told to us? What is it that we have to figure out that is being concealed? Because see, Neptune has a way of concealing and camouflaging the truth. We want to be positive about all this. Keep in mind it is Pisces, so we want to understand, we want to apply our compassion, we want to be sensitive to what information now that is what? Being hidden from us. So that's the key right now. We need to figure out the facts, and with all this Pisces, including the new moon, it's not going to be so easy to get down to the bottom of the truth, especially here because we've got the South Node. Oh, that's an ouchy point in analytical and critical Virgo. And although it is making a opposition to Neptune, and of course natural opposition to the North Node, it's also making the opposition to Mercury and applying the opposition to Saturn. So Mercury is about communication. So everybody is communicating about something important, and although we know it requires research and analyzation, Virgo South Node, we are still a little bit confused with this opposition, especially with Mercury and Neptune. It's like we're taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps backwards in our research. But nonetheless, the Virgo South Node will get to the bottom of things. It's just that we're going to have to separate fact from fiction here. Thank goodness for this Uranian trine to the South Node in Virgo. That kind of gives us a little grounding where Pisces stellium is not. But always, as aforementioned, the theme is in all things confusing or frustrating, have compassion. And that's Pisces at its best. Yes, indeed. So let's look ahead to the weekend with March 1st on Saturday. And the moon is now in Pisces and void. So, oh boy, we're feeling dreamy and we're feeling a little lazy on Saturday, at least early in the morning, but that's not all that bad. It's a Saturday morning and it's a void, but hey, it's a time to what? It's a time to really focus on what your goals are. It's a time to what? Take advantage and really check out and look into those dreams and yes, your aspirations. And really, this is a time this weekend to really develop what it is that you want for the future. And really, because right now we have a tendency to kind of see everything kind of through rose colored glasses, this is a time to really kind of do a lot of self talk about what you want and to feel positive. And that's the effort here of Pisces. With all this in Pisces, it's about feeling good and feeling positive, looking forward to the future. And another thing, because we are talking about healing and downtime, that's perfect for Saturday. It's really a time not to be too hard on yourself because the theme right now is healing. And sometimes with Pisces, because it is connected with the Neptune in the 12th house, we may have a tendency to really kind of lack in self confidence or self esteem. So that's why with the moon, even void on Saturday, is reminding us to really kind of go easy on ourselves, to take it easy, to take it slow, to keep a positive frame of reference for the future. And even though we may not accomplish much on Saturday, uh, depending, of course, on your personal chart, this is a time that we can accomplish much in the way of writing down our goals and aspirations. And there's that theme again. It's about healing mind, body, and spirit. And there's a little bit of the psychical, metaphysical going on Saturday. And yes, as aforementioned, there could be issues with water. Do keep on top of your plumbing with this Pisces stellium. Although that seems a little silly, well, Pisces with Neptune can create issues with water, whether it's a grand scale with water, oceans, what have you, moisture, uh, however that is, overabundance, underabundance. Do keep that in mind for Saturday. And we go finally into the final day of the week, which is Sunday. And up there goes that script again. We've got the moon in Aries with Venus. So we really want to express ourselves, but keep in mind we're feeling uneasy a little bit about expressing our true aims romantically or in relationships. We may feel like, if I express myself, could I be rejected? But nonetheless, with the moon there, it's a bit rash. It kind of helps us get over a little bit of that shyness. But keep in mind, the moon is applying a square to that bit of a touchy, still in post-shadow retrograde Mars in Cancer. So although on one hand we really want to tell it like it is, we want to tell that significant other how we feel, well, at the same time there's this feeling of reflecting about the past and hurts and rejection and all that. And if you act too blunt, you just be careful that maybe the other person may not reciprocate your feelings. So this is a time to yes, take a hint from Pisces and react a little bit more sensitively, and you will get the results that you want. That is for sure. However, there is a sweet sextile with lucky happy-go-lucky, adventurous Jupiter on Sunday. So this is a good time for travel. But do keep in mind we have the sextile with uh, Venus here. So, although it's a great time to really look into that adventure because Venus is retrograde, you definitely want to look into the details before you take off on any trips or modes of adventure or travel. But nonetheless, this gives us a positive outlook for maybe some of those vacations coming up this year or whatever adventure that you have in mind. So that'll do it for this week, starting February the 24th. And until next time, many blessings.